I'm gonna read some Bible verses about the end times. But mark this: there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not lovers of the good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power. Have nothing to do with such people. They are the kind who worm their way into homes and gain control over gullible women who are loaded down with sins and are swayed by all kinds of evil desires, always learning but never able to come to a knowledge of the truth. Just as Jannes and Jambres opposed Moses, so also these teachers oppose the truth. They are men of depraved minds who, as far as the faith is concerned, are rejected, but they will not get very far, because, as in the case of those men, their folly will be clear to everyone. Now we're going to do Matthew chapter 24. Oh, it's this way. Jesus left the temple and was walking away when his disciples came up to him to call his attention to its buildings. "Do you see all these things?" he asked. "Surely I tell you, not one stone here will be left on another. Every one will be thrown down." As Jesus was sitting on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately. "Tell us," they said, "when will this happen, and what will be the sign of your coming and at the end of age?" Jesus answered, "Watch out that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name, claiming I am the Messiah, and will deceive many. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed." Sorry guys, my phone's shaking because I just got done weed eating, so my hands are shaking and hurting really bad. So anyways, about the wars and rumors of wars, it has gone worse and worse and worse. Now there's like the war that's going on, China, Taiwan, Russia, Ukraine. That's getting extremely bad. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. There has been earthquakes all over. In Morocco, Africa, there was an earthquake that killed like over 3,000. There's been a lot of wildfires, hurricanes, so much, especially in the USA, where I live, the United States. So, all these are the beginning of birth pains. Then you will be handed over to the persecuted and put to death, and you will be hated by all nations because of me. At that time many will turn away from the faith and will betray and hate each other. And many false prophets will appear and deceive many people. Because of the increase of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold, but the one who stands firm to the end will be saved. Which means the Christians, people who keep their relationship with Christ until the end, they will go to heaven. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come. So when you see standing in the holy place the abomination that causes desolation, spoken of through the prophet Daniel, let the reader understand. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let no one on the housetop go down or take anything out of the house. Let no one in the field go back to get their cloak. How dreadful it will be in those days for pregnant women and nursing mothers. Pray that your flight will not take place in winter or on the Sabbath. For then there will be great distress, unequaled from the beginning of the world until now, and never to be equaled again. If those days have not been cut short, no one would survive. But for the sake of the elect, those days will be shortened. At that time, if anyone says to you, "Look, here is the Messiah," or "There he is," do not believe it. For false messiahs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. See, I have told you ahead of time. Oh yeah, also guys, when it was talking about that people will be hated for speaking the gospel, I was watching this YouTube video. A teenager was preaching the gospel in public, and police officers came up to him and literally arrested him. Oh gosh, it made me sad. So it will be the coming of the Son of Man. Wherever there is a carcass, there the vultures will gather. Immediately after the distress of those days, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from the sky, and the heavenly bodies will be shaken. Then will appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then all the peoples of the earth will mourn when they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds. Every knee will bow. Every knee will bow, and every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord of lords and King of kings. Let's see. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. But about the day or hour, no one knows. No one knows. Only the Father knows. Not even the Son. Not even Jesus Christ knows. God knows. He did not give us a date or time. He only knows that. But He did give us a ton of signs in the Bible that are literally happening now. Prophecies that are literally happening now for us to keep watch for. Now we're going to go to Luke chapter 21. Okay, Luke chapter 21 right here. Let's see. Look right here. Let's see. Some of his disciples were remarking about how the temple was adorned with beautiful stones and with gifts dedicated to God, but Jesus said, As for what you see here, the time will come when not one stone will be left on another. Every one of them will be thrown down. Teacher, they asked, when will these things happen, and what will be the sign that they are about to take place? He replied, Watch out that you are not deceived, for many will come in my name, claiming I am he, and the time is near. Do not follow them. When you except for that part, the time is near. Yeah, the time is near. So that part, the Bible was translated. When it says the time is near, do not follow them. That part is not true at all. As you can see, there are a whole bunch of people. It literally says in the Bible that you should preach the gospel. Tell other people about the end times and signs and stuff. So that part ain't true. When you hear of wars and uprisings, do not be frightened. These things must happen first. Wars are happening now. But the end will not come right away. Then he said to them, Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. We already read that part in one chapter. Fearful events and great signs from heaven, but before all this they will seize you and persecute you. They will hand you over to the Sanhedrin and put you in prison, and you will be brought before kings and governors and all on account of my name. And so you will bear testimony to me, but make up your mind not to worry beforehand how you will defend yourselves, for I will give you words and wisdom that none of your adversaries will be able to resist or contradict. You will be betrayed even by your parents, brothers and sisters, relatives and friends, and they will put some of you to death. Everyone will hate you because of me, but not a hair on your head will perish. Stand firm and you will win life. When you see Jerusalem being surrounded by armies, you will know that its desolation is near. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let those in the city get out, and let those in the country not enter the city. For this is the time of punishment and fulfillment of all that has been written, how dreadful it will be in those days. Ready for that one? There will be signs of in the sun, moon, and stars on the earth. Nations will be in anguish and perplexity at the roaring and tossing of the sea. People will faint from terror, apprehensive of what is coming on the world. For the heavenly bodies will be shaken. At that time they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. When these things begin to take place, stand up and lift up your heads, because your redemption is drawing near. And let's see. We're going to do Revelation 11 to 12, chapter 11 to 12. Last chapter. I was given a reed like a measuring rod and was told, Go and measure the temple of God and the altar with its worshippers. Okay, well, let's see. If anyone tries to harm them, fire comes from their mouths and devours their enemies. This is how anyone who wants to harm them must die. They have power to shut up the heavens so that it will not rain during the time they are prophesying, and they have power to turn the waters into blood and to strike the earth with every kind of plague as often as they want. The beast that comes up from the abyss will attack them and overpower and kill them. Their bodies will lie in the public square of the great city. The inhabitants of the earth will gloat over them and will celebrate by sending each other gifts, because these two prophets... let's see... Forgot where I was. For 3.5 days, some from every people, tribe, language, and nation will gaze on their bodies and refuse them burial. But after the 3.5 days, the breath of life from God entered them, and they stood on their feet, and terror struck those who saw them. Then they heard a loud voice from heaven saying, "They come up here." Let's see. At that very hour, there was a severe earthquake, and the tent of the city collapsed. 7,000 people were killed in the earthquake, and the survivors were terrified and gave glory to the God of heaven. The seventh angel sounded his trumpet, and there were loud voices in heaven which said, "The kingdom of the world has come, the kingdom of the Lord and of his Messiah, and he will reign forever and ever. We give thanks to you, Lord God Almighty, the one who is and who was, because you have taken a great power and have begun to reign. The nations were angry, and your wrath has come. The time has come for judging the dead and for rewarding your servants, the prophets, and your people who revere your name, both great and small, and for destroying those who destroy the earth." Then God's temple in heaven was opened, and within his temple was seen the ark of his convenience, and there came flashes of lightning, rumblings, peals of thunder, and earthquake, and a severe hailstorm. Then another sign appeared in heaven, an enormous red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns, 7 crowns on its head. Ooh, okay. The red dragon, by the way, that's Satan. He will fight against God's angels, but God and his angels will win. Its tail swept a third of the stars out of the sky and flung them to the earth. The dragon stood in front of the woman who was about to give birth, so that it might devour her child. The moment he was born, she gave birth to a son, a male child who will rule all the nations with an iron scepter. And the child was snatched up to God and to his throne. The woman fled into the wilderness to a place prepared for her by God, where she might be taken care of. The war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back, but he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The great dragon was hurled down. That ancient serpent called the devil, or Satan, who leads the whole world astray, was hurled to the earth, and his angels with him. Let's see. Who accuses them before our God day and night has been hurled down. They triumphed over him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. When the dragon saw that he had been hurled to earth, he pursued the woman who had given birth to the male child. The woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle, so that she might fly to the place prepared for her in the wilderness, where she would be taken care of for a times and a half time out of the serpent's reach. Now we're going to do the last one, which will be Daniel chapter 12. Honestly, I forgot which page that was on. We got Daniel, page 1005, page 1057. Let's see, we got Daniel chapter 12, right here. At that time, Michael, the great prince who protects your people, will arise. There will be a time of distress such as has not happened from the beginning of the nations until then. But at that time, your people, everyone whose name is found written in the book, will be delivered. Multitudes who sleep in the dust of the earth will awake. Multitudes who sleep in the dust of the earth will awake, some to everlasting life, others to shame and everlasting contempt. Those who are wise will shine like the brightness of the heavens, and those who lead many to righteousness like the stars forever and ever. But you, Daniel, roll up and seal the words of the scroll. Then I, Daniel, looked, and there before me stood 2 others, one on this bank of the river and one on the opposite bank. One of them said to the man clothed in linen, who was above the waters of the river, "How long will it be before these astonishing things are fulfilled?" It will be for a times and half a time, when the power of the holy people has been finally broken, and these things will be completed. I heard, but I did not understand, so I asked my Lord, what will the outcome of all this be? Go your way, Daniel, because the words are rolled up and sealed until the time of the end. Many will be purified, made spotless and refined, and the wicked will continue to be wicked. None of the wicked will understand, but those who are wise will understand. From the time that the daily sacrifice is abolished, and the abomination that causes desolation is set up, there will be 1,290 days. Blessed is the one who waits for and reach at the end of the 1,335 days. As for you, go your way till the end. You will rest, and then at the end of the days you will rise to receive your allotted inheritance. And I believe, wait, hold on, what the heck? Okay, yeah. Anyways, that is all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and God bless you.